In Onshape, I am going to create a practice part called a saddle pivot. This is from the book Machine Drawing, a text and problem book for technical students and draftsmen. This book is from the early 1900s. This problem is from page 147. It is figure 242 and problem 14. In Onshape, I will start by going to the folder where I want to create it. Then let's make our new document, create document, and I will call this document saddle pivot. Then click the button for create public document. This book is in English units, so I will click on the hamburger to go to workspace units. Let's change the length default unit to inch and then hit the check mark. For the first feature, I will create the thickened arc. I will click on the plane called front, then hold down the right mouse button to get to new sketch. I like to view normal to the sketch plane. And the first entity that I will sketch will be the arc. So let me go to the arc commands, and this is the center point arc. I will locate it right on the origin. And let's drag it out to about 4, and then drag it about yay big. And I need the endpoints to line up vertically. Let's go to the vertical constraint, and I will pick one endpoint, then the other endpoint. Now let's start dimensioning this. I will dimension this radius, and let's use a value of 4. Then the distance between the endpoints will be a value of 5. Almost got it exactly. And now we can thicken this by using the offset command. Let's pick our arc, flip the direction, and drag it out. And I'll left click to complete and punch in the offset distance. Now I need to close this off, and when I was doing this in practice, just by sketching lines between the endpoints, I wasn't getting everything blue. It was indicating that there are still some under constrained entities. So I'm going to sketch a couple of lines and exaggerate them. Let's sketch a line starting on the origin and drag it up over here. Let's hit the escape key and create another line starting on the same place. And now I will use the coincident constraint to make the line lock into the endpoint. Same thing down at the bottom. And let's use the trim command to get rid of any entities that we do not want. You don't have to do this, but I like to close it off. And so now everything is in black. Everything is fully constrained. Why did I have to do that? I don't know, but this way was sure to work. So let's go to the extrude command. I will pick the sketch. Let's change the depth to be symmetric. And the total depth is going to be a value of 3.5. That is good. And let me rename this just so that everything starts getting organized. Let me call this my arc extrude. And hit the check mark. So there we have our first feature in the model. For the next one, I am going to create the cut in the middle. I probably could have done everything in the same sketch, but I just find this easier to make sure that everything ends up fully constrained. Let's select the plane called front, right mouse click and hold and choose new sketch. Once again, I like to view normal to the sketch plane, which I get to from the right mouse button. And let's use a bunch of the different entities. Let's use this and the line and the arc. And then for the bottom line, I'm going to sketch in another line, and I'm going to start at the origin and then go out to the outer line. This makes sure that I get a line that is basically a radius. Let me hit the escape key. And now let's use the trim command to get rid of the entities that we don't need. And then we need the length of this arc. To create that dimension, You're going to click on the dimension tool and then pick the end, one end, then the other end, then the arc itself, then the arc itself, and this is going to be a value of 1.5. And that is good. Everything is in black. If you don't get everything in black, just add in another dimension like for the length of this line, and that should fix everything. Let me see. Let's call this the arc cut sketch. Again, I just like to keep my feature list nice and organized. Let me rotate the model. And I will select the sketch, then go to the extrude command. And let's make sure that we are removing material. This will be a symmetric depth of 5. And I'll call this my arc cut. And hit the check mark to complete it. We want it at the bottom as well, so let's create a mirror of this. I will click on the mirror command. This isn't a part mirror, this is a feature mirror. I will select that arc cut to mirror. Then I will click in the field for the mirror plane to give it focus, and then pick this plane. Let's reapply the features. Everything is in red. Let's try reapplying the features. Now it's good. Let's hit the check mark, and there we have our cut down at the bottom. Sort of looks like a curved letter H. Then we need the big squarish extrude, and for that one I'm going to create a plane. Normally I try to maintain the scheme from the drawing, but this is just a little impractical. So let me go to the plane tool, and I will select the plane called right, and I will drag the plane out a distance. It needs to be a total distance of 8. That's good. Let's hit the check mark, and then I can select the plane, right mouse click and hold, and create a new sketch. Let's view normal to the sketch plane. And this is going to be a square. So I will go to the center point rectangle and start right on the origin, drag it out. To make it a square, I will use the equal button to pick those two entities. Now let's dimension our square. This is supposed to be a value of 2.5. And so we can hit the check mark. Then I will extrude this. Let me pick our rectangle. I will flip the direction. And rather than a blind depth, I will change the condition to up to face and pick the curved face. I like that. Let's hit the check mark. And there we have it. I no longer need plane 1. Let me hide its display. For the next sketch, I'm going to sketch a couple of circles for an extrude and a cut. So let's select the plane called front, right mouse click, and choose new sketch. Let's view normal to the sketch plane. And I'm going to start out by creating a circle. Let's use the center point circle. Let me move my mouse over the origin so I can just focus in on it. And then let's start our circle and make it about yay big. And I'm going to hit the escape key. This circle needs to be the same size as the extrude that I just made. If you try the coincident constraint, it's not going to work. Let's use the tangent constraint. I will pick the circle, and then I can pick that line, and it snaps in. But it's still in blue because we need to dimension its distance. And it's the dimension from the center of the circle to here. This will be a value of 2.5. That is good. We need another circle in here. Let's put it right on the middle of the other circle. And then we can use the dimension command, and this is going to be a diameter of 1.5. And that's good. And so this, let's hit the check mark in order to complete it. And now let me hit the P command to turn off the display of the planes. Let's also turn off the display of the origin. I no longer need it. And so let's use the extrude command. And I need to extrude this. Let me grab it and drag it so that it goes beyond the length of the part. This needs to be symmetric, and it's going to be a value of 4. And we are adding material. That's good. So I will, let's rename it. I like my features to be distinguished from each other. Cylindrical extrude. And hit the check mark. Then we need to remove the material for the cut in the middle. Let me show that sketch once more. And then I can use the extrude command. And let me right mouse click to select other. Let's see, let's grab the face of the feature and drag out. Let's make sure that we are removing material. It flipped the direction. Let's change the depth to through all. And then add a second end position, and that depth will be through all as well. Then we can hit the check mark, and so that looks good. Let's call it let's rename this. We'll call it our through hole, even though it's not really a hole. And let's hide that sketch that we made visible. So there we have everything. This looks very good, just like in the exercise. Last thing I will do, let's rename the part in the parts list to call this the saddle pivot as well. So there you have it, a nice little exercise that you can do to work on your modeling in Onshape. And again, this is from the book Machine Drawing, a text and problem book for technical students and draftsmen.